everybody? How are we all doing? We all good? Can we have phones on silent, please, if we can? Mine's not off because I'm recording stuff, so I can't turn mine off because otherwise I have problems. Well, you just don't get to hear anything when I eventually get off my butt and put it on YouTube. You know, it's a work in progress. Right, I have Ryan with me. He stepped in to help me because Melinda was called away and couldn't do it. So I'm very, very happy to have him. So thank you very much.
Happy to be here. Hi, everyone.
Would you be able to just open for me any way you want to do it?
Okay, cool.
Any way you want.
If you just close your eyes for a few moments, I just want you to think of your loved ones in the spirit world. As we send those thoughts, asking your loved ones to draw close to us this evening. We ask that they come through with messages, with evidence of survival, of healing, thoughts, energy, and evidence that that life continues, that that love continues. We ask them to draw close to us, to share this evening with us. I also ask my guides and helpers to come forward to enable me to facilitate that conversation and that interaction. And I leave this evening in their very capable hands and ask that they bear with me. When you're ready, just open your eyes.
Thank you, my lovely. Right, I've got our healing book here. Same as every time, I'm just going to read a little thing out. I'm going to read out the names of the people that need to send healing to. If you haven't put anyone in the healing book, you can do it afterwards. All the energy goes to the same place. And then we're just going to have just a moment of silence just to send out some good thoughts and good energy their way. How many times can I say energy in 1 minute? Great Spirit. As we gather here in this sanctuary filled with love and light, we ask that the energy we raise here tonight be sent out into the world as healing to all those around the world who need it and those listed below. We've got Darren, Rosemary, Jan, Seffi, Michael, Rebecca, Clive, Sylvia, Leslie, Barry, Jeanette, Betty, Mick, John, Chris and Janet. So if we could just take a moment just to visualise them in a better situation than they are now, that'd be wonderful. Lovely, thank you very much. Just got a very, very quick little reading here because you all know that I like to do real life readings. I don't do philosophy and stuff. I give you a little real life story that you can think about because it's a little bit more of a connection. This was a story when someone said, when I needed him most, my dad was there to guide me. Said, my heart pounded as I heard the ping of a new email. I opened it. There it was, offer of employment, Saudi Arabia. It was an opportunity that could change my life forever, but was I ready? Just a year earlier, I'd been seriously ill with an autoimmune disease. Doctors told me I'd likely never work or walk unaided again. Miraculously, I recovered, but sadly my parents didn't live to see it. I lost mum to lung cancer at 60, and just a few years later, dad to the same disease. Dad had been my hero. He was a typical London bus driver, full of life and humour and always up for an adventure. I'd built a good life for myself, but something was missing, a husband. While I didn't want to settle for just anyone, life could be lonely. One dreary morning, I was questioning everything. Days later, I spotted an email in my spam folder. Would you be interested in working in Saudi Arabia? At first, I dismissed it as a scam, but it was from a top UK agency. Maybe a new life and new people was what I needed. I got an interview and a job offer, but I had just 7 days to accept it. I wish Dad had been here to advise me, and I went for a drive to clear my head. Dad, if you're listening, I said, send me a sign. Then I saw it, the number plate of the car in front, the first 3 letters, oil. I burst out laughing. The job was a Saudi oil company. Then Dad gave me the courage to move to Saudi, but Dad wasn't done yet. After 2 years, I returned to the UK for medical treatment. I booked an Airbnb for my recovery, and as I checked in, I felt drained and alone. Then I saw a photo in the hallway and my jaw dropped. It was my dad's favourite. He'd always loved that picture of the number 38 route master heading to Victoria. That's how you'll always know I'm with you, pet, he'd say, pointing to a picture on our living room wall. Back in Saudi, I was feeling low again. One day at work, I whispered, Dad, should I stay? Glancing at the TV, I gasped. Behind the Arabic newsreader was the same number 38 bus. Another sign, so I stayed. Soon after, I moved to a new job, but it didn't work out. I handed in my resignation, but the CEO urged me to stay, so I agreed. 3 weeks later, a new colleague from the UK sat beside me. The moment our eyes met, I knew this was who Dad had been guiding me to. We fell in love and married 2 years later. My husband's birthday is the day after Dad's, and like Dad, he's warm, funny, and full of life. So, thank you for listening to me. That's my little thing. I'm going to pass you over to Ryan to do whatever he wants to do.
Okay. I'm just going to get cracking, to be honest.
Go for it.
Is that all right? Yeah.
Do whatever you want.
A little bit about the way I work. Some mediums are very, very lucky, and they got what I call a spirit nav. So a bit like a sat nav, but for dead people, basically. They know exactly where they're going. I don't have fun. Well, I do, but I got mine off Tamu, and it's a bit dodgy and doesn't really take me where I'm meant to be going. So what I'll do instead is I will invite your people to come and talk to me, and I will describe what they look like, feel like, smell like, taste like, whatever senses they want to use with me. I will allow them to do that, and I'll give a short little bit of information. Then I'll just ask if anyone can understand it, and we'll just work together through that. If you understand most of what I'm saying, please let me know. If it's like 1 or 2 bits, that's fine. We can work with it. I'll know very quickly when I hear your voice whether I'm with you or not. Now, if I'm describing, say for example, I'm describing a gentleman and I'm saying he's 5'9", and I'm saying he's a bigger build, and you're sitting there thinking, oh no, he was 5'10". Please don't kill me for an inch. You know, I know sometimes it can be important, but not in this case. All right. And if I'm describing this gentleman and then I come out with the name Mary, please don't put that name and think, oh no, his name weren't Mary, that can't be him. Think outside the box a little bit. I want these names to be names that connect to you, to him or her, or whoever I'm connecting with, or that join you together. I don't want it to be a milkman. I don't want it to be a postman. I want it to be somebody significant that connects. I have got ADHD, and I do tend to look up here quite a lot, like in the air. Please don't think for a second that your people are floating around up there. They're with you. It just means that I'm not looking at you and going and falling madly in love, because that could happen too. I do attempt to work with humour throughout the evening, and the reason I do this is because, a couple of reasons. Let's be honest, this world's a miserable place sometimes, and if we can't enjoy an evening together, then that's part of my job, to uplift. Secondly, this should be a celebration. It should be a celebration of the love of your loved ones. It should be a celebration that they continue to survive, they continue to be around you, and continue to walk with you and guide you. Okay. Please don't think for a second my attempts at humour are taking anything away from where you are in your grieving process. Okay. Is there anything else I need to say? Don't think so. I might come back to something if I remember. As I said, I have got ADHD, bear with me. Okay, so I've got a gentleman that draws close to me from the spirit world. He tells me that he's on Dad's side in family. In fact, I feel like this is Dad. As he comes in closer to me, I'm very aware that my breathing was restricted here, and I know that this feels to me as if it's some sort of pneumonia or some sort of infection, because I always get very warm when I get an infection. And I know it's very warm today, but I'm getting particularly hot as I connect with him. He makes me feel as though when he was well, when he was well, I know that I'm very, very mobile, and I know that I'm very, very busy in my life. I know that I've got a busy mind, and my body stays busy too. And I know that there's a very short time, maybe like 3 weeks, of me being poorly and then me passing. And I also know that there's hospital conditions that connect to my passing here. I'll tell them that as well. Okay, he also talks about there being 3 significant people that I need to connect with, or that I need to acknowledge. So this is either going to be like 3 children, or there were 3 people with me when I passed to the spirit world. I'm also being shown a large S initial that would connect either, as I said, to him, to you, or somebody important to the pair of you. Does this guy make sense to anybody? Could do, yeah? What don't you understand?
Just the description of his illness to start with, but it kind of fits with things.
Okay.
The 3 does, the S does, yeah.
Okay. And is it yourself or is it him that suffered with the acid reflux or the heartburn here?
I think he did.
Okay. Okay, because he just gives that sensation to me as I connect with him. He's quite an intense gentleman, isn't he? He feels to me, as he comes into my mind, your voice feels right, so I'll carry this connection. Not that everyone else, his voice don't feel, obviously no one else spoke, but, the connection feels good. And he feels to me as though when I've got something to say, I'm quite detailed in the way I communicate, in the way I have something, like, I'm as I say, quite intense in this. If I ain't got anything to say, I'm not speaking for the sake of speaking. Yeah, okay. And he keeps pulling up my clothes here, so I know that presentation is very important to this gentleman. He feels to me as if I want to look good, I want to look presentable, I want to look smart. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Let me find out for you. Okay. Okay. And he keeps making me feel as though, I don't know if there was a weight loss here with him, because he makes me feel like my clothes are, okay, maybe this is what he's doing to me here. But because he's making me feel like, there's two things. There's the weight loss, but also I know there's a photograph that you have of him that he would be wearing a very nice shirt in. Not too dissimilar from my nice shirt. But I know that he's got this, and he stands almost like a side pose in this picture as I connect with him. And I know there would be somebody else in the photograph alongside him. And this photo must either be out or must have been looked at within the last few days. I don't want it to be something that's tucked away and never looked at. It feels important to me because he keeps turning my body. So I've got like this side stance that he wants to acknowledge. Okay, does that make sense to you? Yeah. And also, as he comes into my energy here, he acknowledges, I feel like there must be multiple things that were going on with my body, because he takes me now to my tummy area, but I also want to come to my lower part of the back too. But I also know that I want to bring the lower part of the back down here to acknowledge the healing coming to you. So I don't know if you've been having discomfort around here, because he acknowledges that there. I do breathe at some point as well. He also makes me feel as that he just takes my mind to these roses here. And I know that he talks about seeing rose or being with rose in the spirit world. But I also know there must be a rose plant that would be like a bush or a plant of some sort. I don't really know about flowers. In the garden or in his garden here, because he talks about there being a special, they look almost, I keep seeing yellow coming across this. So I don't know if there's like a yellow rose that's very significant, but he keeps taking it to me. But I want to see it as a plant rather than a bunch of roses. Yeah. Would that make sense? It's your garden, okay. Because he's quite adamant about it's not cut. It's not like somebody laid these. It's not like it's about this is being, it makes me feel like I want to be at peace with this. And it's struggling a bit at the minute as well. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? But he makes me feel like there's this space of me wanting, or him wanting you to go into that space to be at one with him. I know that you've been talking to him, particularly the last 2 weeks. He makes me feel as though he's been very intensely around you, because he emphasises that he's constantly with you, and he knows that you constantly talk to him. But the last 2 weeks in particular, he really wants to draw my attention to, because he makes me feel as though it's been quite intense around you, and he's been trying to lift you up. It makes me feel like you haven't stopped. Like, I keep seeing you almost like out and about and doing constant, and I see appointment after appointment after appointment, but not really getting anywhere at the same time, okay? And he's trying to change that energy from the spirit world. And is it you also that has pain in your hands? Okay, because he just acknowledges that here and in there. And where's the September? So I know we're in September now. Birthday party and anniversary. Do you not understand this around like the 7th or 8th, something like this, beginning of the month?
There is an anniversary. Yes, on Saturday.
Oh, I don't mind being late.
Yeah.
You don't start to arrive anyway. Okay. And also, my mistake. Okay, but you also understand about July and August as well as for birthdays, parties and anniversaries. Sorry, that was the 7, 8 and then the September. So I know that that was my mistake for the 7, 8. Okay, what else is that? Mind you, I feel like I could keep going with these. I feel like I'm almost like every single month of the year there's something. And I know he spoke about the 3 earlier on, but where's the other 5? Is this like 5 grandchildren that he wants to acknowledge? Because I feel like I'm coming down.
I've gone blank again.
It's okay.
Right, no, because he was...
I'll tell you what, have a think. It's on the recording anyway. When it goes online, you can have a listen. I'm being recorded.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So have another listen. Don't worry about it now. You can think about it whenever. Yeah? That's all right. It just shows me the 3 and then he shows me 5 and I feel like I want to separate these. Okay. All right. And I know there's a lady that stands next to him, but she makes me feel as though there's this calmness that she brings in around at the moment. I feel like I don't feel like that would typically be her mannerisms, if I'm honest. I feel like, I don't know if this is his partner. Okay, bear with me. Let me find who this is. Because I've got a lady and she feels quite, actually, sure, I might have jumped. I've got a lady who feels quite slim. She makes me feel as though there would be a quickness to her passing. I don't feel as though I'm poorly. In fact, I feel like I've either passed in my sleep or passed while I was unconscious in some way. But she's also making me feel as though, and I keep seeing the name like Susan or Sue. If that doesn't make sense to you, that's fine. I'll take this lady back and I'll see if this is for my next person.
I knew who the S was when you said the S.
That's fine. Yeah, this is separate from that. No, I don't want to dwell on it. Okay. That's all right. As I say, it's been recorded so you can have a listen back. I don't often get people just jump straight in. That's why I paired them together. Normally my guides are quite strict on making sure I've stopped and moved on. But she makes me feel as though there's a very uprightness to this lady. She makes me feel as though I'm very organised, very structured. I see like lots of lists, lots of paperwork, that type of mannerism and mindset with this lady. She makes me feel as though I'd be in my early 80s when I passed in the spirit world. I'm like 82, 83, something like this. And does this lady make sense?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Good. I am here then. And I also know as I talk to this lady, she says to me, I held my tongue until I knew the full story. And I feel like I would be the sort, and remember, this is her perception of herself. So she says to me, yeah, I held my tongue until I needed to speak. And there's something here around either like, she's encouraging you to follow suit in this. She's encouraging you to just observe, take in the situation and then let things unfold and then share your views on something. I feel like either somebody's trying to pull you into a discussion or into a situation when you haven't got the full picture. Okay. And she just feels as though she is just encouraging that gently there. The pair of them are just surrounding you in so much love. And I'm not one of these mediums that turn and say, oh, they're sending you the love. If they're not, these people are genuinely surrounding you in their love. And I know I've spoken about your back. I know I've spoken about your hands, but they're also taking me to your ankle here as well. So I know that I need to pay attention to that as well. So I know they're just completely sending you all that love and healing. Okay. And I'm going to leave both of their love with you. And she just says, yes, she did smell me. So I know that there must be an acknowledgement of this. Okay. So I'll leave her love and the pair of them. All right. Oh, so that's how it works. I can go home now. No, joking. Okay. All right. So I've got a lady that draws close to me now from the spirit world. This lady, she's got a right tickly cough as she talks to me here. She gives like this. So obviously she hasn't got this now. This was a physical condition she had. She's obviously whole and healthy and well, but she keeps acknowledging this like tickly thing going on with her throat. And I feel as though I would have been poorly. She talks about 3 years here, and I'm almost, she wants to acknowledge that she fought it from day one. I feel like they gave her almost like 3 months and it turned into 3 years, or they gave her a very short, prognosis, and I feel as though actually there's this determination that she comes through with here. And I feel like my body is just, she says to me, Ryan, my body gave up on me. It was every part of my body you could talk about. I do feel as though this is like a cancerous condition, and I do feel as though it started in one place and just spread elsewhere. I know that there's particularly like this sense of nausea that I want to acknowledge as well, and I know that I particularly acknowledge this towards the very last sort of days leading up to her passing, she does talk to me about her passing being very gentle, and she does talk to me about there being some sort of like hospice or being cared for by hospice like teams. I know that I'm not in hospital with this, but I also know, or I don't feel as though I'm at home, or if I am at home, I've got people caring for me, not the family, because there's this whole sense of they did their part, and then when it was time, somebody else stepped in, and I'm so grateful that they didn't have to do all of that, also almost like intimate stuff, because her sense of pride and sense of identity is a really big thing. I feel like she's very conscious about the way she dresses. I've got a lovely dress on her. I might have to borrow it. It's the weekend after all. She makes me feel as though I love there's a really strong perfume that I can smell with her too. She keeps taking my mind over to here. That could be anywhere, but she keeps taking my mind over to here as I connect with her. And I feel like there must be a piece of jewellery that she would wear around her neck that would be within the family now that she wants to acknowledge as almost like that clincher point. Does anyone understand this lady? Yeah, everything. You can as well. Okay. Can you understand all of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, all of it. Okay. Who's Lil or Lillian?
That's my mum.
That's your mum. Okay. So keep listening just in case. Okay. As she talks to me, as I said, you're right with me working with you. She's brought in this real strong wave of emotion then as she just connected with me. And that's why I didn't check over here, but she made me feel like I wanted to check, are you all right? Are you all right? And this is how she's coming across, are you all right? And I feel like even though she was poorly, she continued to try and take care of everybody. And it's really strange. It looks like a lunchbox, like almost like I've got ready-made food to give to people because I couldn't do it all the time. So I'd have food in the fridge that when people came round, I had it already prepared because I knew that it's almost like that whole thing of when she had the energy, she'd go a bit overboard. Yeah. Okay, that's what she's showing. When I had the energy, I'd go overboard and just tire myself out. So I used it all up to do this. But I know that I desperately wanted to take care of people. So I'd get myself prepared to be able to do this. It might not be as obvious as, I've pre-made some cheese sarnies. But it feels to me as along those lines, to be honest. And in fact, she shows me, and I don't know if she's joking with this or whether she actually did this, but she shows me a flask of tea. Because I feel like, because as she shows me it, she's like drinking from the flask, but I think this is her humour. So I don't know if she's a bit of a teapot and absolutely loved her tea. Oh, maybe it's not tea. But she makes me feel as though there's this whole thing around.
She used to have a lot of bottle, insulated bottle.
Oh. Okay, because this is what she was showing. I thought it was like a big old flask, but if it's just an insulated bottle, because I'm not seeing, normally, people show you a teacup and all of this like delicate stuff. This is a flask that she showed me. Perfect. Okay, I'm glad that makes sense. Okay. Oh. Strangest thing. So I told you earlier on that I can taste spirit, but that just tasted mint sauce. So I don't know if she had this real thing about proper roast dinners, and because she just... Okay. I'm seeing proper... all I could taste was like mint sauce on lamb, which is a really weird taste when you just drink water. Okay. But I also feel as though... oh, okay. Give me that one more time. No, I can't quite get it. I keep hearing there's a special song, and I don't know the song, but there's a special song that has been, again, played within the last few days. It's been heard, if not today. In fact, I feel like there's a specific song, because she's saying to me, I put the song in front of you. I put the song in front of you. Okay? So I know, but I don't know this song, unfortunately. And if you want me to sing, I think, I joke about sometimes that's extra. It's actually like you pay me to stop because I can't sing. I am officially tone deaf. But I know there's a very specific song that she's acknowledging. It's what? Okay. Worst gay in the world. I should know that one. I know the name, but I don't know the song. Okay. Oh, okay. She's saying, you saw me in the living room. Yeah, like walking past the doorway. You've seen me. Okay. And she's also talking about there must be a picture on the wall that's either wonky or that you keep adjusting, or it's not you. Hold on. But you know about this conversation. Somebody's talking about taking the picture off the wall and moving it, or they've done this recently. Oh, it is you. Oh, okay. I thought it was somebody else. Who's Dawn? Yeah. Oh, your sister. Okay. All right. So talk to Dawn. Just double check, because I feel like, in fact, she talks to me about the picture. You've all got copies of the same picture. Okay. She shows me like a blue dress. Okay. So I know that she wants to talk about the blue dress picture. She talks to me about, like Dawn's either been talking about taking it off the wall and moving it, or there's something like this. Okay. Oh, she's good, isn't she?
She's had practice. She's had practice.
All right. Turkish delight as well. You're saying that, but she's saying okay, because I can just taste it, but also it's making my mouth like stick together as I'm doing this. But I feel like my teeth are moving with it. So I don't know if she had false teeth, but was there not something funny that was going on with? No, hold on. There's something funny going on with her mouth here. Like I don't know if she's got like I couldn't speak or I couldn't get this out. But also, is there not something about somebody wiping or cleaning my mouth, because she wants to acknowledge this as well? And I also know that there were 3 words that were said in her ear by you, because I see you sitting by the right hand side of her here, and she's saying, thank you for telling me it was okay. Okay? Yeah? Because I know that she says, I held on and held on and held on. She said, because I wanted to make sure everyone was there. Somebody didn't come or wasn't able to be there, but that's okay, because you reassured them that actually it was peaceful. And I want really to acknowledge that peaceful moment. She in fact wants me to tell a little story about my own experience, because it's really important. And I will do it, it'll be quick, but this is for everybody, to be honest. So I'm basically now an orphan. If I had ginger hair, you'd call me Annie, because both my parents are in the spirit world, and my boyfriend. Don't come near me. I am like the Black Widow. So when my mum was poorly, my dad had died a few years previously, but my mum sounds a bit like yours, to be honest, fought her condition from day one. I'm not gonna do this. I got told at 14 she had 6 months to live. When I was 33, my mum was still teaching people how to live with a lifelong condition. She was an amazing lady. Anyway, but my brother, as I said earlier on, I'm a teacher. My brother offered to give me a little bit of respite from from caring for my mum as well as that. Easter holidays felt lovely, 2 weeks off. So up she goes to Ipswich. I'm down near Lakeside. And the first day I get a phone call, Ryan, mum's got pneumonia. So up I go to the hospital every day for 2 weeks. I ain't got a problem with that. It's my mum, I'd do anything for her. But I'm one of 5 children. My eldest brother's autistic. He didn't come. But we're up and down, being told any moment. On the last night, we're sat by the bed and we've been there for all day, all night. My sister nods off and headbutts the bag with collecting away. So we send her and my brother to his house. And I laugh about this now, but there is it's funny in that respect. So off they go. So there's me and my other brother sitting there, big burly builder, other guy, tattoos and all sorts going on, beard, like proper manly, and me. And we sat there, and the nurse comes in with a little syringe of medication. She's like, I want to give your mum some pain relief. Is that okay? He's like, no, can't look at this. And he goes out of the room. So I'm sat with my mum, holding her hand, and I did the same. I told my mum, it's okay, I'll keep an eye on them all. I'll make sure they all behave. I'll look after everybody. I know where the letters are and all of this sort of stuff. And I then saw my dad, and this is the bit that's important. I saw my dad stand at the end of the bed. And my dad was smiling, and he was happy and he was healthy. And I got annoyed because me being tired and dramatic and, a little bit camp, got a little bit annoyed with my dad. I was like, how dare you be smiling? Mum's dying and you're smiling. And then all of a sudden I saw my mum stand at the end of the bed. My mum hadn't stood for about 4 years because she sneezed and fractured her spine. My mum's a very poorly lady. And she was healthy. She was whole. She didn't have the oxygen on her. Her skin was the right colour again. And all of this stuff, she was whole. And your mum wanted me to tell that story because it was the same situation for her. Your sister. She wanted me to acknowledge this story. My mum, your sister, sorry. Wanted me to acknowledge this story because of the same journey happened for her. She was met in the spirit world. She was whole. She hasn't got these conditions anymore. And she was back to being healthy. So if you can ask, thank you, Dawn, to try to not worry about even not being there. No, it wasn't Dawn. The person who didn't get there, that's why the name went right in my head. The person who didn't make it, please reassure them that she's back to being how she is. And she's back to wearing this blue dress and wants to remember doing that. Okay. Because she wants to acknowledge that I'm happy and I'm healthy and I love you. And that's really important, those last few words. She says, I didn't get to say those words. I tried to say those words, but I couldn't speak it. And I know that she just wants to squeeze your hand here as well, because she wants to return that to you. Okay? That's right. I'm going to leave that with you. All right. Oh, but if you can take anything from that story, please do. As I say, it was a very important message or story for me, and I think it's my responsibility to share it as often as I can, because if it happened with my people, and it happened with my boyfriend, I'm sitting there pumping away on his chest doing CPR. He died very, very suddenly at home. I saw his mum stand at the end of his feet, and then I saw him there too. Swore at him, told him to get himself back in his body, but that's besides the point. But I knew that he was there to be welcomed and supported in the spirit world, so I know that happens. Okay, next person. Oh, I like you. Oh, I've got a younger guy. Not that young. I've got a younger guy with me, probably early 30s. He makes me feel as though he passes very unexpectedly to everybody else. I feel as though he lived a very wild or very difficult life. He makes me feel as though I've got a big personality. And in fact, he wants to acknowledge that his celebration of life, so whether that's a cremation, funeral, whatever it is, there were people outside the building because they couldn't all get in. And there were and there's still a place where people either lay flowers or acknowledge my passing. He makes me feel as though in his mind, there's a level of responsibility he wants to take for his passing. But I feel as though this is more around his lifestyle choices than like a suicide or taking his own life in some way. Okay. I'm not sure in the relationship at the moment, because he keeps talking about mum, but I don't know if your mum or if you know his mum, but this is where it feels important. And I keep hearing Steve, as a name that would be significant, again, either with yourself, with him, or that connection between you. And he talks about December as well as being very important. Can anyone understand this guy? No? Sort of? What don't you understand?
Most of it makes sense. My brother.
Your brother, okay. And would you understand about, I'm going to ask a question, I don't normally ask questions. Would you understand about mum still being here at the moment? Oh, his mum, okay. And would you understand about his mum needing a lot of upliftment at the moment and why I want to take my attention to her? Or why he wants to take his attention to her. And also, would you understand, he's a good-looking guy. He thinks this of himself, to be honest. And he keeps, pushing his hands through his hair. And I feel he's got quite thick hair, clearly like me. And I know, and he's also got a really good sense of humour as well. He makes me feel as though I don't know if he's got, hyperactivity, because I feel like I'm all over the place. Yeah? Makes sense? Yeah. This is how he's feeling. I've got a lot of energy. And some. But also there must be something here around energy drinks with him as well, because I feel like, as I said earlier on, my lifestyle leads to me being, or not making the right choices, or me not being in the right situation. Pardon? Yeah, I feel it. And it's almost like, I know I'm hyper, yet I'm still going to drink this. Or, yeah, I know I'm like this, but I'm still going to do this. And almost a little bit defiant in that respect. Like, if you tell me not to do something, I'm going to do it anyway and stick my fingers up on the way past. But he does it, there's this really funny quirkiness to him as well. And I know that I love a practical joke. I know that I want to, like, he's making me feel like I'm moving things in people's houses and I'm doing stuff. I'm like, he keeps like stamping his foot. So I don't know if somebody's heard footsteps in the home as well, and noises upstairs when no one's upstairs, because he's like, like doing this to me at the moment. Okay. He also makes me feel that there's 4. He keeps talking to me about 4 people. I don't know if he's got 4 siblings or if there's 4. Okay, because he talks to me about 4. And he also, and what's the name? Steve? Was Stephen important? Okay. Is it important to you? Oh, that's fine. I just know that it was called out, so I knew that it feels important. So if it's important to you, oh, that's quite important. That's quite important. But it feels really. I don't want this to be taken the wrong way, and I'm gonna. Was that a bug near my face? Oh, that's all right then. I didn't know if it was spirit, or what it was, but it was right near my face. He makes me feel really unsettled, but I'm not unsettled in the spirit world, and that's what I really want to clarify. But it makes me feel like in life I feel really unsettled. I feel like there's multiple movements, like I'm not holding down jobs. I'm not really sure where I want to go in life, what I want to do, and I just lived in the fast lane. And I'm just like making rash, harsh decisions, and so what? So what? But I also know that I would go over and above to help anybody. And there's this real gentleness inside of him. And I also feel as though, although he's come across quite loud and quite energetic, there's a real significant insecurity that he had about himself as well. He keeps showing me like Facebook posts, so I feel like there's still things that are pinging through. But is there not like an anniversary or like a memory thing that's come up recently connecting to him? Okay, don't worry, because he just shows me, in fact, he shows me a picture of like 2 other people with his arms like round them like this. And I feel like this is like on a Facebook picture or something like this as well that's come up. And he's like pulling them in close. And spiritually is still doing this too. It's funny. I'm a bit personal. I've got right guard deodorant on, but I just smelt Lynx Africa as I did this. So I know that he's that era of bloke. Okay. And he keeps putting a funny moustache on me and then taking it off again. Let me find what this is about. There's not a picture of somebody doing Movember or doing that sort of. Hold on, let me get it right. What you showed me. Okay. I'll tell you what the image is put in my mind. Do you remember the advert, 118, 118? This is what you showed me. The funny moustache, the big round hair. Okay. That's what you showed me. So I don't know why he's showing me this. I don't know whether he's. You know why. As long as you understand. Okay, because I have not got the foggiest, and he's not telling me. He's just literally stood here, and at first I could feel the moustache on my face, and then he's laughing his head off, and then I felt the big old wig on my head. Okay, so as long as you understand that. And who's Don? Don or Dom? Dominic? Oh, maybe it's that. I don't mind being wrong on Don. It sounds the same, doesn't it? Don. Yeah, we'll have that. It's Friday night, it's fine. And as he does that, I've got like, he's jingling like keys and coins and stuff in his pocket here as well. I just feel like there's there's this whole, I'm a little bit anxious in my own skin. But he's also bringing this anxiety here with you. And he's talking to me about the situation that's been going on for like 2 months around you that's been causing this anxiety that he wants to acknowledge. And this restlessness for you as well. This desire to get up and move and get things moving. And he's like trying to give you the oomph or the energy to get it going. But not just you, but the people involved in this, because I feel like there's somebody who's just like treading water and quite happy to stay and plod and do their thing. But he's like pushing the energy forward here. He says to me, okay. I said about 2 months, but was this not like 6 months prior to this? And then 4 months went past, stuff started happening, and then it's almost paused. Okay. I'm not predicting the future, but he makes me feel like, get ready. Because I feel like things are going to start moving again quite rapidly here. But I feel like you should already know this. It's almost like there's been this backlog of paperwork or backlog of like admin-y stuff that's needed to be sorted. And he's like, it's all getting done and then it's all going to move forward again. All right? He shows me Cornwall as well. You got a place there? Okay. Because he just shows me that. But he also talks to me about Tenerife, or who's talking about going to Tenerife or has been?
I don't know, but I keep asking my husband to make me find out where he wants to go on holiday.
Okay. Was this on the list?
Potentially, he doesn't know where he wants to go.
Okay. Don't tell him.
He said today, I'll definitely want to go abroad.
Okay. Don't tell him I've said it. And when it comes out of his mouth, Tenerife, he's already saying it. So I feel as though it's almost like his mind's already made up. And this guy's aware of that. So just hold that thought. Don't tell him this. That'll be like a big old tick on for the spirit world. Okay. Oh, as I just said to the spirit world, I don't do guides, and I'm not going to do guides now. However, I just saw my symbol for like a spirit worker around you. So if you haven't been developing your mediumship, the question would be, why not? Because again, I really want to shove you in that direction. I feel like my hands are on fire as I talk about this. So I definitely want to acknowledge the healing side of things too. But I feel like the thoughts and the ideas that pop into your head when you're connecting with people, and the fact that you look at people and your eyes go a little bit out of focus and a bit glazed over, and then you start sort of daydream about them or getting ideas about them. This is the spirit world coming forward. Okay. Watch fire it. But there's just, he's talking about you get surrounded by people that are a little bit needy sometimes. And it's about setting these boundaries. And he's saying, I was rubbish at setting boundaries. I was rubbish at holding back and I take on everyone's stuff and try and do everything all at once. You need to not do the same. Okay. Do what you want. But this is his opinion on this. Okay. Anything else you want to say, mate? We were having a little chat about tattoos, and you just keep showing me a tattoo here. I can't see exactly the details on it. But would you understand about who's got the tattoo in memory or in connection? Oh, okay. So this is the conversation that is acknowledging. And you'd understand about there being, have you got one in mind? Okay. He shows me almost like a plant or some sort of like line with things coming off is what I'm seeing, like ivy or like some sort of plant stem with. Oh, I don't care. This is all I'm seeing, like this line with the swirl and then something coming off at the top. I thought it was a plant, but as long as you can understand it, because he just acknowledges that there as well. All right. Anything else? Quick. No, he's literally gone, no, that'll do, Ryan. So I'm going to leave his love with you. Okay. Oh, right, I've got to speed it up. I'm a bit of a chatterbox, but I'm quality rather than quantity. You know. Let's have a look, see what else there is. I have got, oh, she's nice. I've got this little old lady come forward. This lady, she makes me feel like she would be very, very particular in a home. I know everything has got to have its place. I know she makes me feel as though I would be 90s maybe. I'm an elderly lady, and I feel a little bit of confusion around her before she passes. I feel as though, however, there's this acknowledgement of me trying my hardest to stay in my own home here. She makes me feel like, it's really strange, because I feel like I'm upstairs, but I'm on one level. So I don't know if she only had a flat up on one, like a masonette type flat, or if in the end I was only able, once I was upstairs type situation. I feel like I'm talking about the first one, that I lived in some sort of flat, but a single floor type situation, because I know that I've got my kitchen. She shows me her kitchen, and I know if I was to look out of her kitchen and down onto the thing, there's like a grass area out the front of my house where there's other buildings looking in, like a cul-de-sac type space. I don't know why she's gone straight in with her home. I also know with this lady, there's like an Irene, something like this that would connect either to her or to, as I say, yourself. And she makes me feel as though she's got very fine hair, very, very fine hair, but it feels like I would have it, again, just so, and like curled in rollers at some point as well. But I mean, like, as in somebody did this for her in our own home, and would come in and do this for her and do her hair. I'm not great with hair. I'm not very experienced. She makes me feel as though for her though, looking the part is a big thing for her, in as much as somebody kept my dignity by doing these small things for me, and it feels important. She makes me feel like I might be over here somewhere with this lady. However, please listen up. And I feel like I'm either talking about Nan. I feel like Nan, but I feel like being a great Nan is really important to her. Like it's almost like my name changed. People called me like Little Nan or something like this. That would be significant. Who can understand this? Yeah? Anyone else? Yeah? What can anything there you can't understand?
To be completely honest with you, I wasn't properly listening.
Okay.
I thought it was for somebody else.
As
soon as she was very, very particular about her house. Like everything had to be very, very specific. She did get a little bit confused at the end. They're putting it back into me, what you said. She moved into a flat at the end. There was an issue with stairs and stuff like that for her in the end as well. But it was the fact that she was called like Little Nanny.
Okay, because that felt important. Yeah. The fact that was the word that she was giving me there, and she makes me feel as though somebody must have come into my home to care for me
I
here,
think they did in the
because
end.
this feels important.
Being a great grandma was very important. It was being actually seeing our daughter was very important to her. And
she also talks to me about December as a birthday party and her anniversary. She talks.
Have to check.
Okay.
It's not my nan, it's my husband.
Okay. She also talks to me about. I'll just say the one she's saying. She talks to me about March. She also talks to me about April. She also talks to me about November, like right on top of bonfire night. So I know that the beginning of November feels important as well. I keep hearing the fireworks too. I also feel like there must be some sort of connection into London earlier on in her life here, because I feel that she's certainly got those behaviours and mannerisms of a typical East End nan.
My mother-in-law's mum, and I think they did live in London for a while, but she's...
Okay, I'll tell you the reason I said it. I feel like I'm a really down-to-earth, say it as I see it type of lady. I'm not going to upset people. I'm not like a battle axe. I'm not going to go and upset people intentionally. Like I'm just a very direct person. She keeps scrubbing her front doorstep as well, so I know that there's this memory of, or maybe not your memory, but there's this image of her. Like this first image is important. Do you not understand this over here? I keep getting pulled over there.
There's some little things to do with love and whatever,
but not enough to. No, that's fine. That's fine. Maybe I've got somebody else building up in the background. But I just keep getting pulled. Okay, let me see what else there is. It feels to me more about this whole presentation thing. I feel like
presentation was a very big thing.
Okay, because I feel like the presentation of my house, not just the furniture and stuff, but as you come into my house, it feels like it's really important. Okay, and I also feel like there would have been an infection or something with her as well here. And I feel like I had there was almost like a 5-day warning or a 5-day build up to my passing. And I feel like there were people that had to travel quite a significant distance across the country to come and see me here as well.
Potentially we were all abroad when it happened.
Oh, okay, that's quite a big distance. Maybe not across country, maybe across country. Yeah, okay. And all right, so maybe that's what she's acknowledging. I'm just trying to get to where she wants to go with this. Would you understand about? She keeps talking about her story repeating. Is somebody around you really poorly at the moment that is needing this care and support that she was given?
He's full-time care.
Okay. And would you also understand about this almost feeling a little bit closed in, and he's going through a stage of this at the moment? Because it's funny because she showed me her pushing a wheelchair around. But I feel like it's not that type of disability, but she's almost going, oh, let's get out and get some fresh air and do this and do this.
It is that kind of disability.
Okay.
I took him out today and we managed to get him to go out the shops and stuff.
Okay. But she makes me feel as though there's other things going on too, that it's not all just a physical thing, that there's emotional stuff and bits and pieces.
It might have been partly to do with our husband.
Okay. You can work that out. You can work that out.
Take it back to hubby later.
Yeah. And where's the R name that connects here as well?
I think that's on
Robert?
my husband.
Roberts. So is this a surname that I need to acknowledge? Have a little ask. I don't care if I'm right or not, to be honest. It's in as much as it's coming in and coming out of my mouth. Okay, what else? Anything else you want to say? But I know that there's a huge amount of healing being given to your husband at the moment. Then I also know there's something around family, like planning to get together again. Like it feels to me as though there's been like a little bit of a segregation or a little bit of a distance that's happened. Yeah, but I know that there's like this healing going on there too. And in her perspective, family is very important, very significant to her, that she needs or wants to acknowledge. As she brought in this really nice, clean smell, and say clean because it reminds me of soap, like Imperial leather soap in particular. So I don't know if that smell would connect really closely to her. Again, you might need to ask. But there's this clean thing going on there. Anything else you want to say? I just feel like she just wants to be acknowledged and within the family. And the fact that there's this whole thing around being the great nan, and that she just wants to acknowledge to her great-granddaughter that I need to just be remembered to her as well. It's ain't there, but I can't quite capture that. She's like, telling her that I'm here for her will be enough to know why that I'm coming in for this. It feels a bit private. It feels a bit close. Yeah. So I'm not going to open that up and discuss that. She's not here. Anything else you want to say? No. Oh, I just see bingo really quickly. But I see it almost as if to say that everything's lining up at the minute. Everything's coming back into play. Like it's more symbolic than actually I don't feel like she would have liked the bingo. That's not where she's going with it. But I feel like this is more just symbolic, that it's like bingo, that everything's lined up and sorted. Yeah, I don't feel as though there's anything else she wants to say. So I will leave her. Well, a determination more than anything else. I feel that sense of determination is really what she's pushing forward here, and particularly towards your husband. So get out. So it's a fly. So I know that that's where she wants to just sort of leave that there. So I'll leave that. Yeah, that's all right. Okay, how am I doing for time? Oh, perfect. I'll keep going. Of course I will. All right, let's see. Oh, okay. I don't know what happened there. I've got a gentleman with me. This guy makes me feel as... Oh, he's got... Make sure I'm not going to offend. Oh, no, you're the only bloke here. It's all right. And you've got good hair. He's got what I call bird nest hair. Not a lot on top, but hair around the outside. Okay. He's got grey hair. It's quite thick along the outside. He makes me... And he gives me almost an image of like Victor Meldrew. That type of look. But I also feel like there's that type of personality as well going on here. A little bit grumpy, but I know that I would go over and above to help people, and but I'd moan about it while I'm doing it. He makes me feel as though I particularly liked disappearing into the garden. And as he shows me his hands, I know that he was a worker. I know that he would very much be the type of gentleman that would place his hands and do anything. I'd rather do it myself than have to pay for somebody else to do it for me. Okay. And I feel like I'm not just in the garden. I feel like there must be some sort of allotment or some sort of secondary space outside that I'd go to away from the home as well. As I talk to him, he's got quite a gruff voice as he comes close to me, and I feel as though there's an accent that he wants to acknowledge. Now, unfortunately, if I do accents, everyone sounds Indian, so I don't do accents, and I feel like I'm getting bitten by that now, so I'm not going to do an accent, and I can't even hear the accent because all I can hear is an Indian accent as well. So I know there's an accent. I'm just asking to show me on a map where he's from. I feel like there must be some sort of, and I don't feel like this is necessarily where he's from, but there must be some connections to like Lincolnshire or up in that direction as well that he wants to acknowledge. And he makes me feel as though he must have had either like 2 daughters or there's 2 girls, 2 females that are important to him. Does anyone understand this guy? I feel like the Victor Meldrew description has maybe skewered it. Okay, that's fine. Do you understand about the 2 females that are important to him then? Okay, that's fine. But everything else apart from the 2 girls. Okay. Let me find out, or let me go carry on. Nobody else? Over here?
Victor Meldrew
Is the bit that's throwing you. Okay. I feel like I don't want 2 daughters. I want one generation, next generation down as being important. It's used to. Okay. Okay, hold on. Let me just check this. And where does who lives at number 32? Or where is the 32 significant with this? You're 32. You're age 32. Okay. I think I'm here. He just showed me 32 and I thought it was a door number because I saw it in like bronze. But if you're 32 now, that's fine. Keep listening just in case. Okay. Sometimes I'm with 2 separate people at the same time. And you'd also understand then with him, I've got my sleeves rolled up already. However, if I hadn't, I'm pushing them up. Like, I don't feel like I want anything on my arms here. But as I do this, there must be like either some sort of marking or some sort of, but they look almost like health-related things. I don't know if there was like bruising or some sort of marking on his arms before he passes here. Because he just acknowledges this there. So I don't want to dwell too much on the poorliness because I feel like I'm really fit and healthy and I feel like I'm so active. And again, there's this defiance that comes through with this. Like, I am not having a doctor tell me what I can and can't do and that I'm too ill to do stuff. It doesn't say it as camp as I do, but I'm not doing that. I'm going to stand my ground. I'm going to fight this every step of the way. Okay. And I know that there's people that he brings along with the fight with him here. It's almost, he wants to acknowledge, He's already acknowledged the mother-daughter thing going on, the generation females. But there must also be 1, 2, 3. He shows me like 3 here. So there must be like 3 children or 3 important people that I need to acknowledge that were my cheerleaders. Use 3 altogether. Okay. Because it's like, I've got my cheerleaders, is the way he says it to me. And also, did he have poor eyesight as well? Because I feel like either I've got like a cataract or I've got something going on with my eye. All of a sudden, as I just connect with him, I can't see out of this eye. That's fine, don't worry. And you don't understand that here, who's been having difficulty with their eyesight recently? Or like, yeah, with their eyesight? Your husband. Okay, because I just know that I wanted it there and here. Okay. And you also understand the February birthday party or anniversary. Yeah. And you also understand, he talks about the end of May as well. So I know there must be something right near the end of May that's important. It's my birthday. But I feel like 31st. I feel like there is right smack bang at the end as being important. And he also talks about, he says, my legs are fine now too. So I don't know if he had swelling or something around his legs, because he makes me really want to acknowledge, but he talks about having really good calves. Like so obviously this is his opinion, but he makes me feel like he's got these, because I feel like I'm walking everywhere, and he shows me coming out of his house, and I feel like I'm going to the end of the road. I'm then turning left. I'm then walking down the road, turning right, and I've got the shops down there that he wants to acknowledge. I don't mind what area. I'm spending my money. But he talks to me about this zigzag pattern that he wants to acknowledge. And this is almost like, I get good legs because I'm doing the walk. Like, and does it this way. Although he comes across as, or what he described himself as being quite grumpy, or Victor Meldrew, or thing, I've got a really good sense of humour. Quite dry. Very dry, but I know that I could also tell a really good story. It makes me feel like there must be memories of him sitting in his armchair that is tucked behind the living room door. So I come through the living room door, I've got the chair just to the side of me, and I've got children or younger people sat on the floor in front of me telling them stories. One of them's got like either a silly noise in, or a silly song in, or some sort of rhyme in it. He talks to me about donkeys.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That donkey's brought up before from him. I don't know what.
Okay.
That's his latest joke, just to make you think
Okay. My granddad used to tell me this thing, and I think it might be what he's saying. Do you not know, like, the nonsense verse about there was about a donkey falling in a dry ditch and drowning? I'll try and find it for you at the end of the service. There's this really silly story about one fine day in the middle of the night, 2 dead men got up to fight. Back to back, they faced each other, drew their swords and shot each other. A paralysed donkey passing by fell in a drowned ditch and drowned. I don't know where that rhymes, but it's this story. That's what he's putting into my mind. So maybe it is just the silly stories that he's acknowledging for me, but there must also be something about a donkey. So, I'm surprised I remembered that song, that little thing. Danced in my head. Took me back to being 5. Okay. And who's Arthur? Is this his mate?
No, uncle.
Okay, as long as you're gonna, because I feel like because he shows me him sitting there, but I see dominoes. Like I'm playing like dominoes with Arthur. He's saying to me. So if they're both in the spirit world, that's what I want. And also, I feel like there must also be who was the other person? It's another A name. Albert, Andrew, something like this. I just see the capital A in the spirit world too. So I know, because it makes me want to acknowledge the 3 of them. But I'm not saying they're with him there, but I'm saying in the spirit world, he wants to talk about also the 3rd A. Okay? Have a little think, I don't mind. And also as he comes in close, No, he shows me, again, they like showing me pictures, but he shows me a photo of like a caravan holiday or a camping holiday where there's this bike clip, like I'm holding a bike and I've got my trousers clipped. Hold on. Okay. Right, I'll tell you what he shows me, somebody's got like a brown case that's got all the photographs in. He opens this case and there's a dark blue photo album that's got, you open it up and there's photos that flip up on either side. Okay, and there's like gold swirls or something on the front cover. Okay, look at this, go down the 5th picture from the top, bit of homework. 5th picture from the top on the left hand side, and he shows me there's a picture pushing a bicycle. Okay, it might not be a holiday thing, but it looks like a holiday. Pushing this bike, and I see trouser clips on his trousers. Okay, have a little look, and then tell everyone how fantastic evidence that is, because that's what he shows me. All right. I've never had it that specific before, so that's going to be a bit of a miracle. Okay, and I don't know why he shows me this, but I feel as though there's something funny about this picture. I don't know if there's something I don't know what it is, but there's something significant. And I know that there's writing on the back of some other photos, because he also keeps saluting to me, but I don't feel as though he was necessarily in the military, but I know this goes within the family because he keeps just at me. Oh, he was. I don't mind that. So if that's his, but I feel as though then there must be a generational thing going on here too, because I know that I want to acknowledge other people. And he shows me another picture where there's a group of people all sat around like a banquet table, dressed properly, like in their uniform here. And it feels to me as though that, again, there's writing on the back of this, and it's in some sort of like paper frame, like cream framed picture. Okay, but again, he wants to acknowledge the writing on the back, and I feel like there's something here as well, separate from this. He wants to acknowledge the passing that's on the birthday, and he takes me to April. So I don't know if there's a passing and a birthday at the same time. Might be years apart. He shows me like around the 12th, 13th of April, something like that, around the middle. You got that? That's your sister. On the when? 14th. Okay. Have a look around that same period for the passing as well, because I know I've got 2 things in the same time frame. Okay. Why has he come forward? What does he want to do? Do you know, he's come forward, he just gave you a massive hug. And I don't feel as though he did this often, but I know that there's a real need for this at the moment. He makes me feel as though, in fact, the last year and a half, I feel as though he wants to really let you know that he's here and let you know that he's walking alongside you. I can hear a dog barking in the background here as well. But I don't feel it's connecting to him. I feel as though it's just rushing forward. It might be, but I feel as though it's more rushing forward to get to you, because I feel as though it wants to give you that acknowledgement of loyalty and of unconditional love and this closeness that's there. I also feel like you sit at home and sometimes you see a shadow or something near the floor, or see it. Do you have cats or something already? And you got a dog, okay. And is it like, has there been an occasion like two or 3 weeks ago where you've thought you've seen the dog or heard the dog in the hallway, but the dog sat down on the floor? Okay. I'll dismiss that then, hesitantly, because he just shows me this, almost like this dog's trying to let you know that it's around, or is so around, and I can hear its little scampering, and it looks to me just outside the room, and I can hear it. So I don't know if you've not got carpet in your hallway, but he shows me almost like a wooden flooring is what he's showing me. Okay. And the dog says, woof. So no, you know, that's your Deb's humour more than anything else. That's the sort of thing he'd come out with. Anything else you want to say? And it's funny, as I was driving up, he was already in the car with me, judging my driving. But all of a sudden, out of the blue, this button came undone, and I feel like he was almost like, I don't know if he would have always had his top open, or the top of his chest, because as he connected it was like, oh, take over, go round, and they're driving too slow. And it was almost like this thing going on. I didn't. I was careful driving in my little smart car. I'd be too scared, get knocked off. But he was like, there was this impatience. Like, I want to get here. And is there somebody not here this evening that was talking about coming, or that normally comes? Okay, because I know that I want to connect with them and all. I want to just acknowledge that. Anything else? And he just really quickly shows me, you know, the bit between Christmas and New Year? He shows me that, so I know there must be something in that time frame where the only day you can tell is how many celebrations you've got left in the box.